Hey everybody, what's up and welcome to the Shiny Record channel. Now today we're going to go through my Pendulum Magician deck. Tournament was yesterday. I topped again. I lost the first round in Swiss. I didn't lose a single duel until top 8, where my ass was swiftly handed to me when Trickstars went first and proceeded to banish my hand, then proceed to burn me to death. Wasn't fair, but life goes on. So open up triple chrono, one time Gizzle. I'm not going to explain the card effects at this point because I assume every single person know what they do. Then we have triple harmonizing, two fang, two poison, triple wisdom, two oath, one shanky. I know shanky is the least popular out of all of them, so I'll explain his effects. Once per turn while he's on the field, you can negate a light monster. May not seem like a lot, but he can negate a Mech Knight, he can negate Trickstars, so he comes in a lot useful, and then he's a 2/5 body, which can punch down a lot of things. So he's just really good, and then when you punch them down, you still end up coming back. And also to bring up, like, not only to mention he's at 2/5, well, this is on the field, which is easy to summon because almost all their monsters are dark, he's at 3000 punching them. Moving on. And if you're not familiar with the scale effect, you can change a monster's rank into levels. So you can exceed someone with your exceeds. Then for the turbo part of the deck, we'll play triple Dark Worm, 2 Gate 0. One thing I must bring up, people forget the Dark Worm scale effect. Just by not having a monster just going first, just activate Dark Worm, put Gate 0 in scale, instant scales. And then we also have for the turbo, triple mythical Beastmaster Cerberus. I did not have 3 yesterday, I had 2. What I hadn't played instead was triple effect Veilers instead of 2. I'm currently playing 2. Then we have 2 Jackal, MVP of the deck. Also, he's raised up a lot in price, mainly because he's actually really good. And also, like, he's like one of the only mythical beasts that are actually helpful and sticks around because he's there to negate. I'll actually have him more on the field than Cerberus. And then for the last turbo card, triple Curtain Raiser. They weren't that useful, but they help won games. There are times where they were necessary. And then we have 2 Effect Veilers as our only non-pendulum cards, which work out really well. I drew them a lot throughout the tournament. And then for our spells, I played the Alliance engine. The reason why the Alliance works out better for me is that the pot and also Allure, just to draw 2 cards aren't worth it that much for me because at the end of the day I always end up using all of my hand, and banishing 10 doesn't make sense in a combo based deck. If you're going to banish your combo pieces, like, why bother? If you banish all your gate zeros, like what their Dark Worm does at that point. Then we'll play Stargraph and Pendulum Call, which are all searchable by Alliance. So having a searchable way into your Pendulum Call is actually really good. Then 2 Shrine and 1 Foolish for dumping your Dark Worm. You almost have Dark Worm in the grave at all times. Even when you don't need it, if I pull it back, I'm going to exceed with it and send it right back into the graveyard. I almost always have it. There was no point in the tournament that I've seen one and it didn't remain in the grave even after summoning it. Then the only trap card is Time Pendulum Graph. Really good card overall. It helped me against the Alta guys so much. It was the most crucial card against him because it kept popping cards and I kept rotating my poisons like he didn't have anything. So that was actually a real good card. And then for your extra deck, we have Vortex, Dragstore, Meteor Burst, Clear Wing. All useful cards. You play this for the combo if you're unpopular with it. And also, if this is a negate, this is a negate, this bombs field and attacks for game, Ragek in Disguise. Nightmare, Dweller. These two were MVPs against Gokis for the whole day. Like, the thing is with Gokis, I took out my sphere modes because if they go first, they're going to rape my hand anyways. So the sphere mode isn't even going to make sense. What makes sense would be I effect Veiler to try and stop them. However, even then, they going game 3, if they go in first, they're putting in triple call by the grave. So even then, it might not help you. Then 1 time star, I didn't summon him for the whole tournament, but he was a great option at a lot of times. A lot of times. Then Dark Rebellion, Nagato, and Absolute. These were all real good cards. They were extremely helpful. And this is your only way to summon the Vortex, so it's not like you can't play without this. And then for your Link monsters, we have the Apprentice Witch. There are so many things to talk about regarding that card. 2 Electromite. Big up to Larry. He's the one who lent me the second one. Not that I didn't even summon 2 throughout the whole tournament. I've only summoned 1 per each duel. Then we have Decode and Metaltron. Now, any changes to be made would be cutting an Electromite for bar load. Yes, everyone would think I would be insane, but if you play the deck like me, you would be top in tournaments. That's the first thing. Second of all, it actually works. Now, what I wanted to talk about Apprentice Witch is that it has great synergy with the deck because you play a lot of things that work with dark spellcasters. Example, Poison and Fang. Now, it might not seem like a lot, but remember, you have this in your Pendulum zone and your opponent's trying to get rid of it. Not only does it decrease light monsters by 400, if I have this in scale, it becomes a 3100 monster. And if I have this in scale, what he can do, because I almost always have Dark Worm in grave, if I have Black Fang, all I need is Fang actually. If you have this in grave along with Dark Worm, what you can do is Dark Worm, summon back itself, get a scale 0, Fang, pop something, apologies, pop itself and half something, summon back Wee Witch, and that's an instant decode talker right then and there. But notice he didn't use a normal summon, that's why I said you can play bar load in the deck. Because if the duel lasts longer, bar load is an easy summon, and it's not like here I'm going out on my way to summon that card first turn. So there's a lot of synergy with the cards in the deck currently, and the deck has been going really well. I've topped every single tournament since the ban list raped this deck. So take it from my advice, and do not play the turbo version. Well, you can play the turbo version, but you can't play it in Jamaica. If you try and use it, you're going to come last place, like every single person who's used Pendulum Turbo, Electromite Turbo. They come last place, dead last. And then Dury, MVP, finally put down the Thrift Pendulums and played my Pendulums and got a top. And he played side on me, played top. Dury, which place you come? Top 4? Anyways, it doesn't really matter. So thanks for watching, guys. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'm out. Have a great day. Peace.